Hello everyone, it is me, iPoppers, and today we'll be looking at the backrooms level 0.1, the Zenith station. Now, I don't really have anything much to say, so let's get started. Level 0.1, the Zenith station. Raya Valpuri stands at one of the many glass windows in the Zenith station, looking out at the distant stars in the upper right corner of the window. She can just make out a star she calls Sol. Although she cannot see it, she knows that circling it is a planet called Earth, the planet where her grandparents were born, and the planet to which her children's children may someday return. That is, as long as everything goes according to plan. She looks back at the screen, double and triple checking the calibrations as to ensure that nothing will go wrong. The culmination of decades of work, coupled with centuries of scientific theory, has made it so that everything can be accounted for will be. Everything that can be accounted for will be. Doubts flood into her head that she cannot push aside. What if something goes wrong? What if something was not taken into consideration? After all, this isn't like other great human achievements. When humankind first escaped the atmosphere, when humankind first set foot on the moon, when humankind first reached beyond the solar system, they knew where they were going. They could see where they were landing. But here, humankind will be creating an Einstein-Rosen bridge, a wormhole, for the first time in history. And no amount of calculations can tell them what they'll find on the other end. The countdown blares in the background, telling her that she will be witness to something great in only a few minutes. She turns her attention towards the station's central vacuole, where 1 billion particles accelerate inside the white walls that could encapsulate a small country. Their trajectories and velocities mapped and remapped down to the Planck length, ensuring that they will collide with impossible precision to create a chain reaction of quantum string vibrations that will temporarily alter the curvature of the space in which they reside and open a wormhole for just long enough for Raya and her team to see what's on the other side before it collapses back into flat space, as if the hole had never been there. She feels the fabric of the NASA t-shirt under her lab coat, an artifact passed down to her for good luck, commemorating the long-defunct organization that acted as the precursor to the precursor to the precursor to where she is today. She sends a pre-written message back to Earth, informing them that everything is a go, knowing full well that if anything should go wrong today, the light will not even reach their telescopes for several years. She looks around the room, but she is the only one present in this wing of the building, with all other jobs either automated or done remotely from elsewhere. In the terminal, someone gives her the go-ahead over the loudspeaker, and with intense care, she pushes her finger into the button, triggering the chain reaction that will make history. T-minus 0 seconds. Particles collide at immeasurable scales. Cosmic exception handlers that have lain dormant trigger for the first time since the Big Bang. Matter blinks in and out of existence sporadically as the universe's fundamental laws are temporarily ignored for reality to plug a newly formed hole. The expansion of the universe freezes for a picosecond before resuming its course. Cosmic strings form knots around quasars and collapse in on themselves. 1 million miles away, a galaxy pops into existence at the end of a trail of dark energy that leads everywhere and nowhere. Zenith Station disappears from reality. Zenith Station is removed from reality. Zenith Station leaves the reality it once called home and emerges in one that is completely alien. T-minus 0 seconds. Something is wrong. Raya Valpuri's eyes are fixed on the central vacuole, waiting for an awe-inspiring sight, but the vacuole stays still. She turns her eyes to the sensors on the screen to her left. There was a registered shift in the curvature of space around the vacuole. A shift so great that it went beyond what the sensors are capable of measuring. According to the screen in front of her, the readings suggest the formation of a wormhole with a certainty of 9 sigmas, and yet nothing can be seen within the vacuole. Was the wormhole simply too small to be seen with the naked eye? An alarm goes off, and an automated voice over the loudspeaker tells her and everyone in the station to remain calm. Something is wrong. Raya leaves the room, passing only a heptapedal cleaning bot, scrubbing away as if nothing is amiss. Raya walks briskly down the hall, trying to get to an outer window as quickly as possible, in hopes of dispelling the creeping feeling in her gut, an inkling of what may be happening. Raya arrives at the window and looks out into what should be an abyss full of stars. Instead, what greets her is a gargantuan megastructure, far larger than anything Raya had ever seen. An enormous lattice of dimly lit rooms surrounds the view outside the station. She traces her finger mournfully over the place where Soul once would have been seen, confirming that the worst possible chain of events had occurred. The wormhole hadn't been too small to see. It had been too big, larger than the central vacuole and larger even than the station itself. The wormhole had been so much larger than their calculations had imagined that it had swallowed the entirety of the Zenith Station and cast it somewhere foreign in a one-way trip. Survival difficulty, Class 0. Safe, secure, devoid of entities. Description. Level 0.1 is an enormous megastructure found embedded in Level 0. Although it's large enough to be considered a sub-level, Level 0.1 is believed to be contained entirely within the bounds of its parent level. The caption of the last photo was, "A particularly degraded section of level 0.1, as photographed from level 0. The caption of this photo is, "One of the many rooms found within the sublevel." Within the shell is a large variety of brightly lit rooms, with bedrooms, kitchens, gyms, and even some hydroponic greenhouses in various states of disrepair. Many of the rooms in the level are connected with automatic sliding doors, some of which are perfectly functional despite the decay around them. There are also many automatons of various designs roaming the sublevel. The few that are working perform automated tasks such as cleaning and cooking. Aspects such as temperature and lighting vary wildly throughout the sublevel, depending on how damaged any given section is. Much of the level is relatively well lit, with temperatures staying steadily around room temperature. More damaged portions of level 0.1, however, can often be left in almost complete darkness, and some sections display extreme cold or heat to the point of unsurvivability. This is believed to be because of a malfunction in some sort of internal temperature control system. Level 0.1 retains the same irregular qualities as level 0, including the impossibility of coming into contact with other wanderers, the malfunctioning of navigation and communication devices, and visual/auditory hallucinations. Because of this, level 0.1 is not considered to be a viable place to live or set up an outpost, but many of the materials found within the sublevel are extremely valuable. And it is believed that members of the BNTG make regular trips to level 0.1 to harvest its materials. This is not advised by the MEG, however, due to the dangers posed by level 0 and the difficulty of leaving the level. Entrances and exits. Wanderers can easily pass between level 0 and 0.1 by simply walking from one section to another. Due to the vastness of level 0, however, coming across level 0.1 and its parent level's halls is extremely unlikely. That being said, it has been suggested that the BNTG may have access to an as of yet secret method of reliably encountering level 0.1, due to the prevalence of material from the sublevel in their possession. Aside from simply traveling back to its parent level, level 0.1 can also be exited by random no-clipping, usually leading to level 1, similarly to level 0. Well, that certainly was a fun one. I will say that. I enjoy the concept of including front rooms lore in an entire sublevel of the backrooms, and the fact that it's not really a true sublevel, because, like, sublevels are usually different levels entirely, just basically very reminiscent of their parent level. However, this is a physical structure within level 0. I love the context at the beginning. I hope I said Raya right, though. If I'm being honest, I like the pronunciation Raya a lot better there. I don't know. Ria just doesn't sit quite right with me. Not even that. It's just preference. But it, once again, as does for every level, raise interesting questions about the Backrooms lore itself. Who is Raya? Presumably a NASA shirt, being an artifact, is quite indicative of the time period we're working in. So my question now is, what does the timeline of the backrooms look like? What does human history in this universe look like? Also, she got lucky that she wormholed into level 0 and not something else like level -1, which I think I got 0.1 and -1 mixed up. There's one of them. When I read it on the channel, I'll bring it up. But, yeah. Well, I think that makes up about all that I have to say on this level. For now, at least. Yeah. It's pretty good writing, but this is the Wikidot, so we have a higher standard to expect from them. But yeah. Anyway. I have been Ipopras, and if you enjoyed this video, like, because it'll save to the likes playlist, and you can come back to it later that way. It also gives my video an algorithm boost. If you don't want to, okay? I can't really tell you what to do. You can dislike if you didn't like the video, but to be honest, YouTube are huge piss babies about the dislike button. So, I don't know if I can even see how many dislikes I have on my video. So if you didn't like the video, the best thing to do is comment and tell me what I did wrong. Or if you liked it, comment too, have an idea. Basically just comment. I don't really care, I just like getting comments, you know. And let's see. Subscribing also benefits you, because that makes sure that, well, you see more videos from me, and, you know, boosts me, it helps me out. And you can also turn on the notification bell, so that you will be notified whenever I upload. Whether that is 3 times within a day, because I'm simply too fucking bored to do anything else, or whether that's once every total solar eclipse, you'll be notified. Anyway, I think that about covers all of that up. If I missed anything, I don't really know. Send me to level 640 and I'll just go fuck myself with nuclear infection. Wait, no, that was 680. 600 something. I don't know. Send me... I don't know. Send me to the fucking broken, and I'll become a weird, writhing, polyhedric creature. Yeah, that dimension is weird. Anyway, enough about... basically the backrooms equivalent of the death penalty. I have been Ipopras, and I already went over all the stuff. If you weren't listening, that's your fault. And I still, to this day, do not have an elegant way of signing out, so, bye.